Hey man, so this is the idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I got the ball and Indiana Jones Funko Pop. You see, he's doing this. Marty McFly and his family disappearing. I have so much movie memorabilia. Zero. I've got Doc Brown over there. I've got a film reel.
It's great. But you know that those who collect memorabilia of movies have never really experienced movie making in their life. So,
I think we're done here. I think I think we're done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And this is Forgotten Cinema, a show where we talk about films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. We'll discuss what we love about it, maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. You never know. You might find your own forgotten gem. If you enjoy Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, TikTok. We're everywhere with a backlog of over 350 episodes just for you guys. Just for you.
What's going on?
Nothing much. As you know, I was a general in the Army, very respected, highly respected. But I did some stuff. I did something I'm not proud of. Got a few people killed.
8.
Yeah, 8 people. Didn't listen to orders, didn't retreat. And so rightfully so, I pled guilty. It was my fault. I'm going get myself into a military prison. And you know what? It's being run by a warden who's never really experienced war and is leading everything with an iron fist.
A dork.
He is quite the dork. He's killing prisoners. Corporal punishment against the conventions of
rubber bullets to the head
of things. Yeah, rubber bullets right to the head. It's pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is slowly start a revolt, and by slowly I mean pretty quickly start a revolt.
That is a
partly because I care about the way he's treating these prisoners and that he doesn't respect men and their honor, and also partly because I think part of the bad guy is right. I've got a complex, and I've got a lot of a pride complex, a need to lead. And so this is just me, one last hurrah that I need to do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Siding with the dork.
Only a little bit. Only a little. The dork is wrong.
That's right. We are doing the early 2000s film, The Last Castle.
I didn't realize it was this old.
Yeah, I know. Did you pick this?
I did pick this.
You put it on the big list too?
Yeah, probably.
Because you had never seen it?
I've seen it. I saw it once back when it first came out, and I thought it was really good.
All right. So, yeah, I was going to say,
I haven't seen it any bit of it since then.
All right. So, I'll get into the facts, and then we'll when we start the discussion, I'll pepper you with the usual question of what did you like about it when you were younger, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
I'm laid out the agenda for the hopefully the agenda's flying up and what we're going to do. Go.
Right. I'll make a whole list.
The Last Castle is a runtime of you'll make a whole list, and then I'll get the email when you're editing and be like, it's really great that I'm really doing this. This is really great. I'm sorry. The runtime for Last Castle is 131 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget was $72 million. Its release date was Friday, October 19th, 2001. Its opening weekend was $7 million. Its domestic take was 18, international 9, for a worldwide total of $27 million. I think we could pretty much figure out why it probably didn't do well.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. Production company was DreamWorks Pictures and Robert Lawrence Productions, and distributed by DreamWorks Distribution. So DreamWorks. Said it came out on the 19th. So let's go back a week to the 12th of October, 2001. You had a wide release of Bandits. Fun fact, we did a premiere of Bandits at the Showcase Orange when I was there. We had Levinson there and his family. I don't know if anyone from the movie was there, but just him.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
He lived, I don't know if he still does, but
around.
He lived in Reading.
That's a place?
Yeah, he lived in Reading, Connecticut, I believe.
That's pretty cool. The old Orange Theater was great.
It was good. We also had wide releases of Corky Romano. And Iron Monkey, which is a re-release of a 93 film of a foreign film in 93. And you had a limited release of My First Mister. The week after, you had, the 19th of October when this film came out, it went up against in a wide release, Riding in Cars with Boys and From Hell.
A movie we did.
And limited releases of Waking Life, Focus, and Intimacy. And that
There's a lot of films you're naming. I don't know.
Riding
in Cars with Boys. I know.
That's what Drew
Bandits.
Barrymore. Yep. The one Corky Romano. You obviously know that.
Yeah, Corky Romano.
My First Misters with Albert Brooks, where he's like a 47, 48-year-old man. He befriends a 17-year-old. And they're like teaching each other. Like it's like a James Brooks type film, like a life type film. And then on the 19th, you had the limited release of Waking Life, is the rotoscope film that Richard Linklater did. You remember Scanner Darkly?
Yep. Okay.
Focus is with William H. Macy. It's based on a short story by, and I'm blanking on the name, Arthur Miller. Maybe it's a play, Arthur Miller. Anyways, it's after World War II, and it's like it does a lot with anti-Semitism and stuff like that, and like how people were blaming the Jews for the war and stuff like that. And then like William H. Macy isn't Jewish in the movie, but he puts on these certain type of glasses, and people start thinking he looks like he's Jewish, and he starts feeling that kind of
hatred toward him.
Yeah, it's really the trailer's really odd, because you're just like, what is this movie about? So I had to read a little bit about it. I was like, okay, that makes sense now, because the movie, like, if you didn't know it was about that, like the post World War II, you would think it was some kind of supernatural thing. You would think
like they just hate him because the glasses.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, and then Intimacy is a film with who's the guy in the BFG? He won a couple Oscars for Spielberg films. He was in
Bridge of Spies guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is funny because I think this time last year we had an episode where we couldn't remember his name either. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Not Colin. No. Anyways, it's a movie. He's younger, obviously.
Right.
It's a British film but it's like, it's just him and this woman who don't speak, and she's married, and they just have sex, and it's just, that's all they do. And the trailer is clearly a Red Band trailer, because there is some nudity in the trailer. That's on YouTube and like
really?
language, and that's all they do is that. And then it just kind of like, obviously from there, like, they develop a relationship. But yeah, but that's all it is. That's the movie. The movie is just basically like them just getting it on for
all right.
All right, so the week after, the 26th, you had a wide release of 13 Ghosts.
Movie we did.
K-Pax, which Butler loves.
Yes.
On the Line, the Lance Bass romantic comedy. And Bones, the horror film with Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
And then limited releases of your favorite film, Donnie Darko, Life is a House, and Ginger Snaps.
Okay.
I know you know those.
As we go toward the end, I knew those.
Yeah. All right, this film is directed by Rod Lurie, who's done The Contender, the 2011 Straw Dogs, and The Senior, which is more recent. He hasn't done a lot since then, though.
Well, how is he older now?
Well, yeah, I think everyone is older. I mean,
that's how time works.
Redford's not with us anymore, and this movie is 25 years old.
Yeah.
Story credit was David Scarpa. He also has a screenplay credit, and then Graham Yost has the other screenplay credit, so he comes in and rewrites it. They did not work together. Scarpa has done The Day the Earth Stood Still, the 2008 film, the remake Gladiator 2, and Napoleon. And then Yost has done Speed, Hard Rain, the TV episodes from the TV show Band of Brothers, and the more recent TV show Silo, which I watch with my wife.
Is Hard Rain good?
No,
because I remember watching it, but I can't remember if it's good or not.
Hard Rain's claim to fame is Randy Newman. Not Randy Newman. Yeah, Randy Newman, right? Randy Quaid. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say
Randy Quaid talking about how he's eating shit for breakfast, shit for dinner,
right,
shit for lunch, shit for dinner. I am tired of eating shit. That's what he's known. That's what it's known for. It's like it's kind of like Speed.
I've seen it, but a long time ago. I'm trying to remember if it was good or not, or if I was just really young.
They rob a bank, and Christian Slater's trying to stop all these guys, but it's just pouring.
It's pouring rain. It's like filling up. Yeah.
Town. I mean, it's worth a rewatch, but I ain't gonna say
it's not good.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, oh man, you missed out. Cinematographer was Shirley Johnson, who's done Greyhound, Captain America: First Avenger. Composer was Jerry Goldsmith, who we did this already. He says he has 18 Oscar nominations, only one win for. The Omen.
Oh, The Omen. That's right. That's right. The weird one.
This is for you, Damien. Right. Edited by Michael Jablot and Kevin Stitt. I guess I'm assuming Jablot is how you say his last name. Can't Hardly Wait, Old School, and The Game Plan. And Stitt has done Jurassic World and Cloverfield. This not a big cast. Obviously, Robert Redford as our General Irwin, our man who has been gone to prison for 10 years. Won a nominated for an Oscar for The Sting. He was also on obviously All the President's Men. He's won an Oscar for Ordinary People, director.
He was in The Candidate, which is a movie we did.
Yeah, he's in a ton of films. And obviously we just lost him last year, right?
October, I believe.
2025, right? Yeah. And then James Gandolfini, of course, we lost a while ago, who plays Colonel Winter. Like, you know what kills me about his name is I kept thinking it was Winters. And I was like, well, I'm like, why is it just Winter? But anyways.
People say the same thing about you.
I know. No S. What's your name? Fields. No S. All right. He's in TV show Sopranos, obviously, The Mexican, and a movie, The Mexican, and the movie True Romance.
Get Shorty.
And Get Shorty.
Get Shorty a lot.
Mark Ruffalo as Yates. He's one of the inmates, and he is like the son of a man that the general was a prisoner of camp with in Hanoi back in the Vietnam War. He is nominated for 4 Oscars: Kids Are All Right, Foxcatcher, Spotlight, and Poor Things. Stephen Burton as Captain Perez. That is Winters. I was going to say it again. Winters. It's Colonel Winter, right hand man. He's in a lot of soap operas, so General Hospital and The Young and the Restless. Delroy Lindo as General Wheeler, who is Irwin's friend, and I guess, he's basically his friend, his buddy.
Yeah.
He's nominated for an Oscar, and by the time you watch this, he might have won for Sinners. He's also in Get Shorty, The Five Bloods, and The Core.
And The One, a movie we did.
And The One. Paul Calderon as Delwo. He is he used to be the staff sergeant. He's the one that is yelling at everybody to
get in line.
Right. And if you know that you also know that he's from Pulp Fiction because he's Paul and this is between you all. You'll know that. He's also in The King of New York. Sam Ball as Duffy. I don't know who Duffy is. There are people I'm like, I don't know, whoever that guy is.
They don't name a lot. Like the people with names, Aguilar.
Duffy might be
the big guy.
No, he might be the guy who's the medic.
The doctor. Yep.
Disappears.
And then comes back at the end.
Yeah.
Check on him.
He's 13 going on 30 in Pumpkin. Jeremy Childs as Cutbush. He's in the TV show Preacher. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I do watch. He might be the tough guy.
You're talking about the guy that was building the wall.
Yeah,
maybe. And then Clifton Collins Jr. is Aguilar. Obviously, Butler knows him from Star Trek, and we all know him from Capote. I'm guessing we all know him from Capote. And then Robin Wright's in there as his daughter, real quickly.
For like a 2-second scene.
Yeah, and she's uncredited, so I'm sure whatever. I don't know why she was in it, but that's
work with Robert Redford, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, hey. I would too. All right. So, Mike, as I stated in the agenda before I started,
I'll bring up the agenda.
When you watched it as a kid, or when you were younger, what did you enjoy about it?
I mean, it was cool. It was about a guy leading somebody. It's just got all those kind of like, oh my God, what's the name of it? Great Escape kind of vibes a little bit. Standing up to it, abused authority. It was, during September 11th. So there's a lot of rah America stuff going on at that time.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. You should have.
When you were watching it.
When I was watching it, when it first came out, it's like, you got to have that American pride, especially because I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it when it came out on VHS or DVD.
So then you're talking.
So it must have been around Christmas. Or like maybe afterward. I know movies took a long time back then. Yeah.
I don't know if it would have been. I mean, it could have been, but I don't know.
Just to get it out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I still, during that whole period, it was very rah America, support our troops, all that. I mean, not that you shouldn't now, but like,
great cover, good job.
Yeah. But like, it was very much like, I think it was like we were at a fever pitch about it. So it was, and as like I was 13, 14, so that's around the time like you're like, guys, get them, and you're starting to kind of watch those kind of movies. The war movies, soldiers movies. So I really liked it. Robert Redford's a great leader in this. Like he just has that charisma that like totally lends itself to playing characters like this. Totally lends itself to playing characters like politicians and stuff like that. We talk about how great Robert Redford is.
Well, So number one, March was when March 2002 was when the DVD came out.
Okay.
So, at that point, we were in the Iraqi war. So
yeah.
Hey, times have changed. But yes, to your point about Redford, one of the things I remember I was talking about in The Candidate was his style of acting is so easy. Like he's got his own style. But in this one, like it's that kind of element that we talked about with The Candidate isn't. He's reserved. He's more of like
he's definitely more reserved. Yeah, he is someone who has lived in the military. So in The Candidate, he's more smooth talking.
Right.
And in this, it just comes across as it's there a little bit, but it's much more reserved because he is first and foremost, which is the point of the movie. He didn't have time for family, didn't have time for his grandson at first. He all about being a general, all about putting his troops first, and that's who he was. who he is first and foremost. And so I think he plays that really well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But we also talked in the candidate how people like back in the day weren't like gave him the same kind of crap that they gave Brad Pitt.
Yeah, because he's
just like
he looks good. He's
just a pretty boy who doesn't really have any skill,
which is completely so far from the truth.
Right.
Which obviously people have caught on to now.
Yeah.
I would hope so. So, okay. So then that's what you thought back then. What about now? Like after you watched it?
I still
early this morning, late last night.
I still enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
It's still a good film, but it seems really rushed, which I kind of talked about when I was doing the little summary thing.
The production seems rushed or the storytelling?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I think that, and in the notes, it's talked about how, Scarpa wrote his first draft, and then who was the second guy? Yost came in after Redford was hired, and they kind of changed it because in the original, Colonel Winter was more of a sympathetic figure,
right? And
Irwin,
right?
Yeah,
Irwin starts off
as,
one way, starts off sympathetic,
and you find out he's really just. He's trying to get his glory days. He's mean. He's putting people at risk just to kind of capture that glory.
You see like his tactics to inspire the inmates, his troops, is more like he's belligerent to them.
Which is very interesting. Like that sounds like a way different film. But you kind of get a little bit of that in this script. So it kind of muddies it. Like they don't talk about any of that, and it's just like. Winter bad, Irwin good. And it's just so cut and dry that I would have really preferred it not to go into that kind of Shawshank territory, that, there'd be a little bit more give and take. And I know that Gandolfini only signed on to the role because he didn't think he was right for it. He signed on to it based on a monologue that he gives that got cut. And I'm really curious to know what that monologue he was given.
Was the original script.
Yeah. So I think that kind of muddies it, but I still think it's an enjoyable film. When they're starting to revolt and take back the castle, you're rooting for them like you should be. Robert Redford's doing a great job in this film, but I think that it's a little, I don't know, muddy is the right word for it.
Muddy in terms of the story itself, or just
the story itself, like how quick everything happens and like what happens. Very Hollywood, I guess. There's your inciting action. It's like script 101 kind of a thing.
Sure. I just wondered the original script, if that's what they ended up shooting. We would talk about all the time on the main show and now showings and lead ups about, connecting with a protagonist in the movie and who's the movie that the audience is going to what characters the audience is going to latch onto to see this movie through their eyes. If Irwin is bad and like if Winter's supposed to be the good guy,
right?
Yeah, I'm curious as to how they were going to pull that off. Because you know what I mean,
right? I can't see how you have that prison warden as a good guy,
right?
Without presenting all the prisoners as bad guys, and then what's really the point?
Yeah,
unless they're both different shades of bad. And it's the prisoners that are suffering these two men's hubris,
or like Yates or somebody else is in there who is the real leader, kind of thing.
He would have to rise up and be the actual hero. Yeah,
I mean, 5 minutes into this film, you immediately know that Winter is weak. Like with that whole scene when he brings up Irwin and he's showing him his collection, he's trying to get his book, and then he makes the Winter. I joked about in the opening for it. I don't know if people heard it on the podcast audio, but in the YouTube video, we did a kind of like a riff on that, where Irwin makes that comment about how, hey, people who collect memorabilia about war have never been in war, they don't understand it. It's like but also not in just that, even the way Winter talks to him and when the way that he's
like, oh boy,
he's like a fanboy, and it's like and that's probably on purpose, but immediately into the movie, you already are conditioned to understand that Irwin's is the big guy, is the good guy here.
Yep.
And he is the one he is more, not just, I guess, more power, even though he's a prisoner, and more respect. And
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they kind of reference it. Winter references it when he sees Irwin, like they should be naming forts after him, not putting him in the prison.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. The whole thing with Wheeler, when Wheeler comes to visit and he says, let me just write something up and get you out of here. Like, is that easy that them to just work the game, the system?
Watch your mouth, Colonel. That's the same man that put the star on my shoulder. Like, you can tell. Okay.
So I just, it's
very cut and dry. It's very like, very Hollywood. Just very like This is like what you would show to a screenwriting class on what a perfect not a perfect example, a clear cut example of protagonist, antagonist, inciting incident, rising action, acting structure. Like this is so cut and dry
storytelling. Like even though I think we notice it. You're talking about it. You're referencing it. A really great film hides those elements where you don't you know they're there, but it's not so like you can't point them out because you are engaged with all other aspects of the storytelling. Yeah, I could be writing
drawing the triangle right now. Okay, there and there.
Right. So if you're noticing that, then the movie's not doing a great job of giving you something else to kind of get you. Like the movie's job is to suck you in so that you are into the story. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, I don't know how many you counted, but I counted 5 split diopters.
I stopped counting after 9.
No, there were 9.
There were more than
5.
9. I stopped after 9.
Wow, I must not have
Did you see my story for this?
Yes, I did.
Split diopter the movie.
I mean, I love it, but I mean, Rod Laurie really likes the split diopter shot.
I liked the first couple, and then as it kept going, every scene, I was just like, it ruins the magic of a split diopter. Is supposed to be so interesting.
So the split diopter shot is there's 2 images that are in focus. The foreground and the background are in focus, but they're 2 different shots, and they're put to. Oh, I'm sorry. The lens allows you to see both in focus, but in order for it to do that, it has to split that image, and that's why you get in the middle. You get that little line that looks like it's out of focus, like that's. And when you do split diopter shots, you're trying to hide that line in the middle that is fuzzy. You're trying to hide it within, whether it's within black or whether it's in shadow.
Not really hidden in this.
But like to me, like using that kind of shot, maybe I'm just trying to. Maybe it's like 1 or 2 shots within the film that I'm like, this is what we need to do here. Like we can't rack focus. We can't figure it out.
Right.
I really want to see both reactions at the same time. To me, that's maybe 1 or 2 shots in a movie if I need that. At 9, if you said I counted 5, you say 9. That's a little too much.
It's way too much.
I mean, like I only kind of permit that for Brian De Palma and Brian De Palma films because that's what he's known for. But I don't even think he's done 9.
He doesn't. He only does 1 or 2.
No, but I'm saying,
and it's to punctuate like a big scene. Like if it's not just to rack focus, it's to I want to really make this shot look weird because it looks weird.
Yeah,
it's off-putting. Maybe your brain doesn't register, but you notice it.
Yeah, once you are told it, or once you have noticed it the first time and it's explained to you, then I think you always pick up on it. But if you don't understand it, you're just saying like that shot looks weird. You don't really get why it looks weird, but
if you watch the podcast, we go split diopter.
Yeah, I love pointing them out. I love pointing it out. So I went on the split diopter rant, but I want to go back to Winter being a weak man. I think that also kind of presents an issue where I never view him as a real threat to Irwin because he's just so weak.
Right.
And I'm going to assume it's the character, the writing. I don't think it's Gandolfini. I think Gandolfini plays it really well. Mm-hmm. And I also think that whenever you see Gandolfini playing a different character that's not Tony Soprano, it inherently looks weaker than Tony Soprano.
Oh yeah.
Because he is such,
Even in Get Shorty, where he's the tough guy.
Yeah.
He's still weaker than Tony because they give him moments of levity or weakness.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Tony Soprano is probably one of the most iconic characters within the last 20, 25, 30 years of television, if not longer, if not more. That show is that good and he is that good in that show. But that like it's almost like we talk about characters where like, could any other person play that? I don't think anybody could have played Tony Soprano other than James Gandolfini. But what happens is in other movies, when you see him as something else, it's like, well, you're not Tony, so you're clearly not that strong as Tony. But I think it's a combination of that, but also with the writing. But like in terms of this film, like shouldn't I be more scared of Winter having some kind of effect on Irwin? Like I'm not. I just feel like we're watching the film and it's just like, yeah, Irwin, get him. And again, in some movies that works. That's great. I'm just curious, like, does this film need Winter to be more menacing?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that, well, maybe not more menacing because you don't want to go too unrealistic with it.
Yeah.
But Winter needs to be more clever about it. And he's so overtly breaking the rules of what are they called?
The code of conduct.
The code of conduct regarding a prisoner code of conduct.
Yeah.
There was a whole name for it. But he's completely disregarding that right from the beginning. You're like, well, as long as you get a letter out or the general sees like one more death and you're out now, general. All right, solved pretty much.
Right. And then there was that moment when he had that, to your point.
Yeah.
When they kill Aguilar.
Oh, and he
does the sign, the symbol to shoot him in the head in front of Irwin.
In front of Irwin.
Like in just plain view.
It's too much, and he's not clever about hiding any of these crimes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point. Like in Shawshank, a lot of those crimes that happen to Dufresne and everybody else go unnoticed.
Right.
Because they're covered up, because everyone's working to cover everything up. And in this, even though the rest of his staff goes along with it, and there's that one guy who loads the shotgun with a real bullet.
Enough of this
random guard that we just met.
Who, speaking of that, but go ahead. I'll go back to that.
But no one, like they might go along with it, but no one's really, I'll cover this up for you, boss. Yeah. He's just getting away with it all for no reason. If Winter was not necessarily more insipid or sinister, but just more clever, hiding these things. Irwin can't prove anything. The general comes and goes, listen, he's running a clean ship. Like we don't register any, maybe we don't register any deaths or anything like that. Or this injury was a knife fight in the prison. We don't have any proof that it was, a bullet, something like that, where it's all covered up. I would be like, that's okay. So Winter is clever in that he can hide his atrocities, but like Winter is just so overtly bad at his job that it's like, there's no threat there. Irwin's going to win. He has 8 different ways of winning this.
Right. And to the point of Winter being so, not even just bad, just like doing whatever he wants to do, like you're saying, and without any repercussions, you never see anything. So that at the end of the film, when he's ordering them to shoot Irwin and they're not doing, because you see Captain Presby sitting there shaking his head, not telling, but like, okay, so all of a sudden now you've decided to control the troops behind Winter. I've never seen that. Yes, we cut to you for looks. Like there's looks on your faces when he's doing something, you're just like, what's he doing? Like, I get that, but there is nothing. You have talked to nobody. You have not outwardly gone against Winter at any point throughout this entire movie until at the end of the film, you're doing this. And then you allow him to pull his gun and to shoot Irwin. It's just like you said, like, it just feels like, this is what the script is. It's plot. He's got to.
This is what calls for.
Irwin has to die, because Irwin surviving whatever happens in this movie doesn't make it. Would just be like, well, what's next? Like, what's next for this character?
Serving out his 10 years.
The only way Irwin could redeem himself for what he had done, for why he was in prison, was to either play out his 10-year sentence or die.
Yes.
And so that's where you get the death at the end.
And that's why you get the scene with Robin Wright, where he's, oh, you're not really part of our life, Dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, all right, so he's got no reason to live.
Yeah. But there's a lot of that. There's a lot of stuff that we don't see. We don't see the trebuchet being built, or the grappling hook, or the slingshot, and the gasoline hidden in the wall. Like all these things that they do, we don't see.
I'm okay with the slingshot and
the grappling hook.
The grappling hook. Okay, you hit it. It's small enough. I didn't need to see it. How are you building a trebuchet? When they pulled out the trebuchet, I was like, no one saw you building that in the yard. I'm sorry.
Perez like, what is that? And he's like, I don't know. What do you don't know? I'm telling you, it's a trebuchet.
Yeah, I had the same thought.
You have a room full of memorabilia from wars across centuries. You don't know what a trebuchet looks like?
You went to basic training, right? I assume you're an officer. What the hell is that?
So like, we get no sense of any kind of planning, like what's going on, what the deal is going to be. All we get is them in the cell with pieces from a chessboard. We're there, and these are the guard posts. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing. Like,
gotta take the towers.
And these are the towers. And I'm like, I don't know any of this layout. I don't know what's happening here. What is this?
They don't do a good job of that.
No. Yeah, you can't show me them siphoning off gasoline somewhere. Show me them going to the wall and getting just show me the preparation so I can get excited. Like I can go, it's gonna happen. Nothing. It's just all of a sudden you just everything starts happening. Everything's coordinated. Everything knows what to do. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, how did you guys know how to do all this?
And so I brought up The Great Escape before, and that's exactly what The Great Escape does. And movies like that, where you have all these plans and they lay it out and you get excited. It's kind of like a heist.
Yeah.
Like you need that moment, like a heist film. I know that they're very cliche, but you need that moment. You need that. Here's the plan. Here's what we're doing. Even if they end up lying about the plan.
Right.
But you don't even get that. You don't even get any of that. You just get those chess pieces. Like you said, we got to take the towers, do this, do this. There's no, all of a sudden these guys are working the cafeteria and sneaking things in, or let me be on, cleaning duty, and you're cleaning out, a rack where you see that there's the access to the main water pipe. Like, how do they know where the main water pipe is through that wall?
Or if you're seeing things like in a movie like The Sting that obviously refers in, you're seeing things that are happening that you don't quite understand yet, but it pays off at the end of the film.
Yes.
Just something like that. So to your point, like, it's just, I don't know. It's great that it happens at the end. And like everything that happens within the movie is done well, but rationalizing it from the script point of view, I don't get it. You know?
Yeah.
And like Redford is so good. Like my note here is like, because when at one point Redford's talking about, he's giving them like a history lesson about one of the wars or something, or he's telling him something.
Right.
And I wrote the note down. I go, if Robert Redford was my history teacher in high school, I would be locked in.
Oh, the thing about like saluting and why they salute.
I was just like, I'm like, like he is like just. I'm just like, tell me. Yes, you're the best teacher I've ever had. Like he carries this film. He's so good in this movie. You just like the fact that he was legitimately carrying rocks.
Yes,
in that scene. He's how old is he?
He's 65 when he's filming that.
He takes off his shirt and I'm like, holy crap, he's jacked.
It's like, wow.
And then they were like, oh, we're going to give you fake rocks to do any featherweight rocks.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm going to do big rocks to make it easy. I'm just like, yeah, man, you do that. Like, if that's impressive. Like his just, if we'll get to the recommendations and why you should watch it. But to me, it's just like, just Robert Redford. Just watch Robert Redford. He's really good in this film. He makes this film worth watching. Everything you're talking about that we've just discussed, I agree with. And it's just like, it's just kind of, I like it, but it's kind of, do I like it because I like stories and you know what I mean? And
I think it's exactly what you want. If you want it's like a classic Hollywood paint by numbers movie, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because sometimes you want it. And sometimes you can have Gandolfinis and Redfords that just elevate that. And I would even say the supporting cast is really good too.
Yeah.
Ruffalo's good. Who's Aguilar?
Clifton Collins Jr.
Right. Clifton Collins Jr. What happened to him? He used to be in everything in the early 2000s.
Star Trek.
Is that what destroyed his career?
I didn't do a deep dive on Clifton Collins Jr. career, but I can after this episode.
Yeah.
I could go quick Google search.
Bring back our spotlights.
Clifton Collins Jr.
Now
we're joking, but like I really hope nothing really bad has happened.
No,
he has done really.
Yeah, he was really good back then.
All this out of it.
But Clifton Collins Jr. is good. The big guy is good. I like his relationship with Aguilar. The big guy whose name I can't remember because you don't really focus on other names.
I think we said Cutbush.
I think that's what we decided. It was
we
Cutbush,
talked last episode, but the arachnophobia episode, we talked about how you had one big name and then you had a lot of character actors.
Right.
I wouldn't think that these people in here are necessarily as I haven't seen them a lot of stuff, but you do essentially have that. You have a lot of I don't want to say smaller players, but just like supporting players getting to do a little bit more.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is always nice to see.
I really do like Ruffalo as Yates, but I really hate my least favorite shot or scene is when he goes to Winter and he's like, I'll do it. You want some information? The flag. They want to take your flag, blah, blah. And then the other guy comes in and he's like, oh, you Yates, you traitor. And then he's like, hey, well, man, my mom's sick. I was like, he got the flag. He's
you know he did.
Yeah, he got it. He already betrayed. It's just like, that was too much. And I was like, I should, until the last minute, think that Yates was betraying him.
Yeah.
I should think that up until he tells Winter, you stupid, I took your flag.
Until he runs for the helicopter.
Oh, that too. But also I like I took the flag, you stupid son.
No, I do like that. But how much of a bigger moment would it be where like you see Yates throughout this entire thing? Like he's not trying to get hit.
And not doing anything.
The chopper comes in and you just see Irwin turn to him and be like, you ready? And he's like, let's go. And he just runs for
that. Would have been cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. You've been.
But it's just telegraphed. It's just like, all right. Totally. All right.
To your point about the guard that puts the live round in, the only reason he puts the live round in is so we can justify Yates killing him.
Yep, he's the only guard to be murdered.
My note was, so Yates, you're now staying in prison for quite a bit.
That was my thought. It's like your 3 years is becoming 30 years.
Say all you want about Irwin. Like now Irwin's dead. He can't speak up for you. When the dust settles, they're going to be like, who killed the dude in the tower with the helicopter? It's you. Hey, sorry, but you are going to have to now be here for life.
Yeah. It's for, come on.
So like I don't get that.
I mean, unless they see the bullet hole in the glass, even though the helicopter rolled 1,000 times.
Or have the guy jump free. Like he turns because he shakes his head like, don't do it. and then he spins the helicopter around to destroy the tower. Have the guy jump off. I don't need, like, the guy dying just means, like, now I'm just thinking, like, Yates is never leaving this prison.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for the guy that got chopped up,
but that's why the live round's put in there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I thought the same thing. Was like, oh, now you've got a fatality. Now the whole prison crew has one fatality. As well. Which shouldn't be, because the whole thing was one more death and you're out of here. And that should be Redford's death.
But exactly. But also, you know, the point should be made with Irwin that just because, you know, he has that whole conversation with Aguilar about how for, you know, 95% of the time he was a Marine, that 1-5% for him, he's all Marine, like how he makes that mistake.
Right. Yeah.
So these people that are under Colonel Winter's command, they're soldiers just like Irwin.
Yes.
So he should view them as soldiers just like himself. And and obviously if Winter's the problem, everyone else is not, that he shouldn't want them to be killed. And
they're just following orders.
Right. Exactly.
So they are prisoners trying to make a prison break.
Right.
Or seemingly make a prison break.
Well, I think they're just trying to raise the flag.
Oh, that's what they're trying to do. But to the prisoners, they're thinking it's a
but they
prison
lied.
break. Yeah. He's raising it right side up like a good soldier.
What if he just oh shoot, no. Oh. I got a couple reviews for you.
Bring them up.
Owen Gleiberman, I don't know, from EW at the time. As staged by Laurie, the drama has all the subtlety and surprise of a showdown between the sissy bully son of Captain Queeg and a hero who's like a fusion of Brubaker, Spartacus, and Norma Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brubaker's another character that Redford played. Obviously not Spartacus or Norma Ray, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty true.
Variety says, quote, much of the potential dramatic juice has been drained out of The Last Castle, a disappointingly pedestrian prison meller that falls between stools artistically and politically. So it's saying it's not, I take that as it says it's saying a lot, but it's not saying anything at all.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what the original script was saying something else.
Right.
But now you go to like kind of a rote kind of generic thing. It's still like they're not saying it's necessarily badly made, but they are saying that story is just kind of paint by numbers.
Did you see the notes about the cinematography, about the look of the film, so when they're in the beginning, when they're in Colonel Winter's office, it's more intense color to reflect freedom and power. And then when you see the outside in the yard in the beginning, it's all washed out. Obviously because they're prisoners and right. less powerful. But then as the story shifts and progresses, and as the power changes to the yard, from the yard to Winter's office, especially when the rock goes through Winter's room,
right,
the glass window, that color dynamics shifts, and you see more powerful color within the yard, and obviously kind of highlighted at the end by the flag being raised in the yard.
Yes, and then
in Colonel's office, it's more washed out a little bit. So they were playing with that. They were using a lot of handheld camera techniques in the yard rather than they were doing a lot of stuff on stilts and on dollies within the office to kind of like show the difference there. So I thought that was interesting that they were going back and forth with kind of like, you know, playing with your artistic eye, as you will.
You can definitely tell in the end when they're all gathered and, you know, Winter is ordering his men to shoot. That shot looked very much like high contrast, glossy, like kind of like Gone in 60 Seconds kind of Hollywood feel. Mm-hmm. So I definitely did notice that end scene is very much like 2000s Hollywood look as opposed to the rest of it. But I did not notice the color dynamic change, but that is pretty cool.
If the prison looks familiar, you saw it in The Green Mile, because The Green Mile used this movie Last Dance.
I'm tired, boss.
Yeah, Green Mile's great. And Framed, the movie Framed as well, which is an older film, which is a Joe Don Baker film.
And then the prison got pretty much destroyed in
F3
2020.
March 2020. Yeah. So let's go. Yeah, it's Tennessee State Prison, a former prison from 1898 to 1992. So obviously they were shooting after it was decommissioned and then it was destroyed. Mike, it's very clear why this. I think there's a couple of reasons why this film probably didn't do well in the box office. Obviously, I think what we were talking about a little bit, but also because it came out a month after 9/11 happened.
Yep.
Jerry Goldsmith actually recorded the score for this film on 9/11. So it's named September 11th, 2001.
Yep.
Because that's who he was working on the movie. I'm pretty sure I have the original poster. I know we've had this discussion. I'm pretty sure I have the original poster, which was the flag flying upside down.
Right.
They took it. They obviously removed it, and they gave the big head poster, which stinks. But I get why you take the original poster down. It's just you at the time, as Mike was talking
it's just bad looks.
But it's a really cool looking poster, and I'm pretty sure I have it. I have to go back in there and try to find it. But yeah, so I think 9/11 had a lot to do.
Oh, absolutely. No one was going to the theater really at the time. It wasn't really the time to watch a movie like this. I know the other movies.
It was a weird time.
I'm surprised it did release and didn't get pushed because I know that the Arnold movie Collateral, or Collateral Damage was coming out around this time, and they pushed that. But that definitely had buildings falling down.
This was
still.
more. This was a somewhat of a positive army message, I think.
Sure, but you still had Winter as the bad guy. It's still a little too like. I mean, again, like at this time, it was like a fever pitch of all troops good, can't be bad kind of a thing. Right. So I think that does hurt it. That does taint it, and the reviews aren't like that generic Hollywood kind of thing.
It's not good enough to survive the what happened in the world.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not, like people will be like, don't worry about it. Like if this was a really good film, like if this really hit on the stuff that we said it missed on, it might not have still have done a lot of money, but I think it would be talked about a lot more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So yeah. So again, Mike, so then who are you recommending this to?
A lot of people. I mean, Redford's still great in this film. Gandolfini's still really good. Clifton Collins Jr. and everybody else who's like kind of like the supporting cast are still really, really good.
You think modern audiences don't like the fact that Clifton Collins Jr. it doesn't stutter and has some kind of, obviously he has some kind of mental loss of mental faculties in this film. Do you think people now don't like that? I know how you feel. I'm curious.
I don't think so.
I agree with you. And
I don't think so.
Because he does a really good job.
I think maybe you'll get one or two, but I don't think he goes, but I think that I don't think they would. I think that people still latch on. The fact that this is in prison, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is a 2001 movie. Because it's prison, they don't get cell phones anyway.
True.
Or any of that kind of stuff. There's nothing really about computers in this film that it can stand a test of time a little bit better. Somebody could watch it now.
So it's got it's
got legs, it looks good. It doesn't look dated.
Yeah.
So I think that helps it. And like I said, Redford and Gandolfini are gone now, which sucks.
No, it does suck.
Especially Gandolfini didn't even get to live to a nice ripe old age.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the show, yes, I'm sure everyone has seen him as Tony Soprano, but he's good in a lot of other. I can't remember what it is. I know we've done other Gandolfini stuff here, at least one other film, and he was good in that.
We didn't do Get Shorty, but The Mexican he's good in. True Romance he's really good in. We did The Drop he's good in.
Yes, yeah. So he's good in other stuff, and you should see him, and he's really good at playing Tony Soprano type character.
But as he's performing in Cora Winter, that's pretty much what he sounds like. He does like Tony Soprano. He's doing a voice. He's doing a guttural.
Oh, right. This kind of
not how he really
a little bit more high pitched, a little nasally.
Yeah.
But he's still really good.
Oh no, yeah.
And Robert Redford, it's just like he's like you said. I want him to teach me. He's like he's like the perfect the exemplary man when he's in this
he's extremely confident actor.
Yeah, he's the guy you want to follow.
He knows what he's doing, and he's confident. And even if he's not really confident, it doesn't matter. That's not what he's exuding. He's just kind of a born actor. He just knows what he's doing.
And I know we've talked about how it's like paint by numbers Hollywood, but it's still a decent film. And it's fun to count the split diopters. But I think this is a film that if I taught like a film class, I would have this as one of the films in my curriculum of like the first, like we're teaching rising and falling action. This would be like the first film I show because it's so easy to teach that and show that if you want like exemplary or just easy to track. Not exemplary, but easy to track. Like you said, that it's not hidden by anything.
Yeah.
This is a good one to do. And just because when it came out, it fell off. I feel like there's a lot of people who didn't get a chance to see this. So I would definitely recommend it, even if it does have its issues.
The music, there's some cues in there from like The Fugitive, I thought, or like Chain Reaction. Like there was that.
There was some very familiar
mid-90s, late early 90s kind of sounds in there.
Yes. Right? And then occasionally went very Americana.
Yeah.
Which is why I put the Medal of Honor soundtrack as my story. I was trying to find the Last Castle site. It wasn't on Instagram, obviously. I didn't think it would be. So I put Medal of Honor on there because there are notes of that. There's definitely notes from Fugitive, Chain Reaction. There's some very, very easily recognizable tracks.
Okay.
But it's Jerry Goldsmith too. So
now we talked about 9/11. Do you think that's the sole reason it was forgotten? Or that we're saying it's forgotten?
Yeah, I don't think the reviews helped. But to keep the movie, in theaters long enough for people to go see it. But I think that it was a while before people went back to the theaters after that.
Well, it was
not quite COVID times, but
the type of film you wanted to watch. Like
yeah,
purely escapist film where you're watching like a, you know what I mean?
You wanted a comedy or a kids movie then is really what did well then. And I think that no matter what, even if this was better reviewed, maybe it would have a little bit more of a legs to go. But I think that this movie was kind of released at the wrong time. If it was delayed,
I should have got pushed
to maybe March when it came out on DVD and you released it then, maybe it would have done a little bit better.
Like, let's say you even push this to the following year. It's like movies that get pushed more than 2 years, 3 years, they don't do well.
Oh, you can't push them that long out. You can't push them too far.
I wonder if the decision for DreamWorks was like, well, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. So
probably
let's put it out and hopefully that,
And you have the release date. It's so close to release.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
Yeah,
it's a tough call.
So I think that's pretty much why it was, because otherwise it's Redford, Gandolfini. It would have done opening weekend. It still would have done great just because of that. I mean, this was at the height of Sopranos. People would have gone and seen this film.
This was after the third season. After shot third season. Sopranos is so good. So good. All right. We're going to find us. You
can find us at Forgotten Cinema Podcast or wherever you get your shows. You're watching, listening to us right now. Go ahead and rate, subscribe, comment. What's your favorite non-Tony Soprano Gandolfini film? Let us know in the comments below. What's your favorite Robert Redford film? I'm pretty sure I asked that before, but keep talking about Redford. He deserves it.
All of them.
And if you like Forgotten Cinema, we're everywhere. We have shows all the time. We have now showings. We have lead ups. We have our Patreon. Go on our Patreon to keep up with everything we're doing. You could join for free to keep up with us. And if you'd like to, for the price of a cup of coffee, just $3. Every month you get an exclusive episode, double voting power on our audience choice selections, and merch store discounts, as well as being able to chat with us on the Patreon chat. So go ahead and check all that out and just keep checking. I don't know when this comes out. May, Mandalorian Grogu. We have stuff coming up. Go check on that.
And join us next week as we're going to watch and talk about the only found footage film I enjoy, which is Chronicle.
The only one you don't like. I thought you liked Cloverfield.
I don't mind Cloverfield. The second found footage film I like. Potentially watching a young Academy Award winner Michael B. Jordan in this. I don't know if we don't know if he won at this point when we're recording this, but
true.
Seems like it's trending that way, which is good because Sinners is a great film. Go check that out as well. All right, so that's it. We'll do next week Chronicle. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler,
and this has been Forgotten Cinema. We didn't even talk about that. The fake
salute.
Yeah.
That's the wrong hand, though. But my other hand's blocked by a microphone.
Redford's hair is gorgeous.